I have two video recordings going, and I wanted to have both. So here we are in the photo contest app. We have opened the app up, and we're diving into it. So again, I can set the start date, the end date. If I want email submissions to come to me, I can enable that. And if I don't want to use public entries and I just want to use my own entries, I would toggle this, which is use only page admin entries. And then how do I want to display the entries on the contest itself? Do I want them displayed by most recent entries? Do I want them displayed by most votes or randomly? Okay, and we set it to randomly just to not give anyone an advantage for their voting by seeing the top one and saying, yeah, I'll vote for that one too. That's our recommendation. People can have different options, and we give them the options on what they want to do there. Number of entries allowed. This is per user. So do I want them to enter just once? If so, I have one in there. If I want them to enter unlimited times, I put a 0 in there. If I say yes, everybody can enter twice for the photo contest, I can do that. Then you also have the option to not allow entries to go live until you would approve them. So that would, if you want to do that, you would toggle that on here. And we give you a little bit of information about that. So this is the options that I'm going to be filling out, and I can simply click the arrow to advance to the next one. So you notice I went from contest setup to voting options. That's where I'm at now. How do you want people to vote? Do you want them to vote once every 24 hours, which is basically like 1 time a day, but it's from their last vote. So if they vote at 9 a.m. and you say that they can vote, unlimited times, but only once a day, then they can't vote until 9 a.m. the next day by doing this once every 24 hours or once per stage or contest. So if you only want them to get 1 vote, then you can select that one, or you can say, hey, anybody can get up to 10 votes. So then you would select this one and set how many votes. If you want to set 10, you can do 10. We definitely recommend the once per 24 hours because you want people to come back. You want them to keep coming back to your page and engaging with it. So this is the key way to do that. Now, the next thing you need to do is set up voting instructions. This is where you outline your contest to the users. You can come back and vote daily. It would be a simple thing. So you can enter in that in text there. But we also, visuals are huge, and we give you the opportunity to have images. So everyone starts with a vote image in there. And let's just take a look at that image by clicking the Facebook preview. Okay, so this is the default image. Vote, cast your vote now. So you could put your own text or your own image and overwrite ours in there, but that's just a quick example to show you what it looks like. That was the preview option. Then we give you a voting option in case you want to run a 2-stage contest. A 2-stage contest is like a first round where you allow public entries, and then you're going to move to a finalist round, and maybe you're going to have 3 finalists. Okay, so then if you toggle this on, a few more options come. So right now, if there were 50 entries, that would run until May 15th, and then automatically the top 3 vote getters would move on, and the others would be hidden. That's on your database here, but it's not publicly visible. And those 3 entries would start over at 0 now to have finalist voting round start. So then people can vote on any of those 3 entries, and that's going to end based on when you set the contest end date to be. And so in this case, it's still saying 5/16 for that piece. So that's another option. I'm going to turn 2-stage off now, but we're just trying to give you flexibility on what works for you so you can get creative and thinking of ways to engage your audience. Again, your goals: get them excited, get them to enter, get them to vote, and come back to vote. You want their interactions that helps them build affinity with your page so that they see your other content in the future. You can capture more leads that way. So as we move on, we go into the admin entries area, and so say you did want to have only admin entries, this is where you would load those. This is your own entry to load. Or if you have someone that doesn't have a computer, accessible, but they want to enter. You could enter a image on their behalf, and we also give you the ability to manage existing entries here. So you could, if you had that where you wanted to pre-approve them, you can come back into the app and see them all and click the toggle to approve it, and then it would go live on the public site, or you'll have the opportunity to delete it if they somehow violated your terms. This is another key area in the live contest. This is where you outline the contest details. So this is not the voting instructions, this is the overall contest image. And hey, we're running a contest on who has the cutest kid. And then you have a form and you can customize your form to whatever you want it to be here. So here's the form titles. By default, we give you a first name, last name, and email address, and you can move these form entries around however you wish to give it your layout. So right now we have text above it, and then we have the image, and if I can change those if I want, so that I have a different view on these items. And then if I go down to the form, let's say I don't want first name and last name. I only want first name. So I can delete that field if I want to. And then just click the add button. But let's say we give you some pre-formatted ones. I'm just going to select text and add, and it gives me that text field. And let's change that from the word text to name. All right. Then do I want it to be required? Okay, this would mean they'd have to fill that out or they can't enter. Do I want it to display? Do I want it, if whatever they put in there, to display to the public? So do I want their name to be displayed, or do I want it to be displayed just to me? And that's a good case scenario where when I go to the contest, I can view who entered that, but the public doesn't see it. It's a good thing for privacy. So I'm going to save that, and now I have these two fields, and I want the name field. And I want to move those around. I can quickly do that and go through that process. Then I create a thank you message. What do I want them to say when they've submitted that? That's a quick and simple thing that I allow for them to do. One of the other keys in the thank you message is you can have an optional form that is after the thank you. All right. So how would you use that? So I want them to enter their best image, but when they enter, I also want to give them an opportunity to sign up for my email list to be aware of future contests, for example. So I could add a form at the end so that when they have submitted, I can give them a message that says thank you, have an image with that, and then also a simple form. And if I go to the form tab, I can see that and customize that to what I want, and that's all going to be stored for you there. So that's a way to have them submit their entry, but then have a extra piece, subscribe or something like that, to help you build your list through that process. If you have selected to have that on, then this next one, the optional form response, is available, and you can give them some extra details on what they receive after they've submitted that form, the extra form. All right. Now, another key feature as we go into layout options. Again, what do I want to display? How wide? Okay. So, or do I want square images? Do I want rectangle images? That type of thing. That's just a simple preference. Now, we have a number of times where sometimes people contact us and say, I don't want to have people vote on this. I want them to display. Okay? So you can have people enter. Let's say you want to have a time for entering. Let's say you're going to have 1 week of just entering, but no voting because you want everybody to start at the same time for voting. So you have them enter over a week's period of time. Everybody enters, but you turn off the vote buttons. All right? So here you go. Show vote button on large or show vote button on thumbnail. So right now, there'd be no vote buttons on any entries. And we can have to display whether we want to show how many times somebody's voted, or this one has 500 entries. Votes? Do I want to show that or not? And do I want to show the profile picture that's connected to Facebook for that entrance? So there's the opportunities there. But with the question we get the most often is, I want to turn the vote button off for now, and this is where you do it. It's under Display Options, Show Vote Button On, Show Vote Button Off. You just toggle those. All right. You get some options there for customizing the colors. What do you want your vote button color to be? Do you want it to be gray, or do you want it to be red to fit your branding colors? We try to give you some flexibility there. The next item is the default landing page. Okay, so when you come to a contest, whether that's on Facebook or on your website, what do you want them the first thing that you want users to see? Do you want them to see the entry form, or do you want them to see the voting for those that have submitted? This is where you select that. It's by default set to vote because that's allowing people who are a friend has shared it with them. Hey, I entered, come and vote for me, so that when that person comes through and looks at this, they would see the entries and be able to vote for that. Sharing options. You want to encourage sharing because this is how the word gets out about it. So people want to share their entry, and you want them to share your contest. So we recommend that these are on. Comments is something you can turn on or off. Do you want them to comment on the contest, have a comment form? Do you want them to, this is just for visitors. Do you want them to have it on a per entry basis? That's comments is up to you. We give you some starter rules. Now, again, you need to apply those specifically to your industry, to your state, to your country, but we give you some basics there to help you get started for rules. For privacy, we always include the disclaimer that Facebook requires that this contest is not associated with Facebook, and Facebook is not tracking the data. And as well, all we do is track that data for you to export. Nothing that we do with that. We deliver you analytics, like how many people entered, that type of piece. Now, one of the things that I recommend is that you get people excited. So don't start your contest right away, but if it's going to start next Monday, so put up a pre-contest information and make it live on your website, live on your Facebook tab. You can simply use the countdown timer so that a countdown would show before the contest goes live. So let's go back to the contest start date, and let's set it for 1 day from now. So the contest is not going to be live. It's going to start 1 day from now, and then we will go back to the pre-contest, and we have the countdown on. We're going to show in days, hours, minutes, and seconds. And again, so if you're in Germany, you can update that label to days in German. If you're in Mexico, you can change this to Spanish right here, and then we'll take a look at that countdown timer. There it is. So this is what would be displayed. You can put a header image above that, but again, this is telling people this is when it starts. This is the timer ticking down. All right, and that's why we do that, to help you build buzz, build anticipation, get it ready to go. So you set up. You can have a text with that. You can have an image. You can have all three of those. All right, it's up to you on what you want to do there. Then, as well, we encourage you to do some things with the post contest. What do you want to have happen when it's over? Do you want to show a link to all entries? If so, toggle that. Here's your text area, image area. You can show winners, and then how many winners? Say you had top 3 vote getters were going to get awards. All right, the ones the most is the grand champion, whatever. So you could display those top 3. We're going to display them from most votes to third place. And again, you customize your text. You can have a header image above that. Security is always important, and that is, how do you ensure that the contest is fair and that nobody's buying votes? There's people out there that try to do that, and what you can do with that is, number one, we have Facebook security set by default, all right? And that means that we're tracking the Facebook ID for you to be able to view you can take that one step further and only allowing verified Facebook accounts, because some people try to create maybe a dummy Facebook account and their own Facebook account so that they can get 2 votes, all right? Well, the problem with a dummy account is that verified accounts have gone through the process of attaching a mobile number to an account, all right? And so going through that verification process, Facebook basically is screening them to say this is a real person, it's tied to a real mobile phone number, this person exists, and that phone number can't be used multiple times. So that way it's cutting down on those who try to create dummy accounts. So that's option number 1. And option number 2 is by IP address, all right? And so basically this is kind of computer geek talk. Every computer has a unique IP and every destination location. So we can track that, and if you say only by IP address, then that person could only vote from that IP address. Now, what that means, however, is like in your household, let's say there's a husband and a wife in there, and you have it set to IP address voting. So we're going to detect that home's IP location. And if a wife is on the computer and votes, okay, that one will count. If the husband then logs in to vote on the photo contest from that same computer, we're going to detect that there's already been a vote. We're going to say can't vote. So that's the downside of the IP one. But again, IP is helpful in the way that it tracks unique IP addresses, so that what we found was that there are farms out there that vote buying farms, and they have multiple Facebook dummy accounts, and when they try to vote for them, say they're going to try to buy 500 votes for an entry, oftentimes they're trying to log into each of those. They have processes set up to log into each dummy account, and it's typically from 1 or 2 computers. So we can detect, hey, there's been multiple times where the same machine trying to be a different user was trying to vote. So we can detect and prevent that, and we also give you the option to then view and delete your entries. So if you wanted to take a look at them, we'd give you access here. I don't have any because we just created this one, but you'll have a link here, and that'll take you to be able to view the votes. Now, so for Facebook, if you're going to connect it to Facebook, you would connect what page you want to go to, what do you want the Tab app name to be, what do you want your 111 by 74 image to be on the Facebook page, and what do you want your icon to be. You go through that process, and you could deploy. That's fairly straightforward. This is huge, is the promotion tools. The promotion tools is an area where you're customizing the messages that people socially share. So this is important because what do you want the title to be? If somebody likes it and they're sharing that on their Facebook news feed, what do you want your title and description to be? Brand your contest. If they share it, Facebook share, we'd pull from that title and description. If they tweet it, we're going to pull from the tweet text that you put in there. So again, think 140 characters and put a hashtag, something like that in. What do you want that to default say when they tweet? +1, pin it, also pull from these items. So you want to enter a title, you want to enter a description, and you want to put an image in there. And so we recommend the Facebook optimized image, which is 600 by 315. You can also embed a call out on your web or blog by adding an image. We'll give you the code here. You can paste that maybe in your blog sidebar. It says, hey, vote in our contest, all right? And so they click on that image that you've embedded, and we have in the code there the URL so that when they click through, it goes directly to your contest. If you want to schedule it out ahead of time, we integrate with 3 tools, Buffer, Hootsuite, and Sendable, so that you can pre-schedule these. So you want to set messages to go out maybe in Hootsuite, and you want it to go out at 8 o'clock, 1 o'clock, and 7 p.m. You can pre-schedule those if you're a user of one of those services, and we automatically pull in the URL, the smart URL, there for you with that. Now, the next one was the comment system. And so if you want to enable comments per Entry, allow visitors to sign in, so we can do their Facebook, so that they're identifying who they are in the comment system via Facebook, or you can have a form. And do you want to be notified of comments? Do you want to have comments not go live until you say so? That's an option there. And here's where you come to manage comments if and you're alerted to comments in the app. Gates. This is where you would add your light gate if you wanted to have people become a fan first before they can enter or vote. This is where you would do that. Advanced is just that. You can add a header image. Here's where your styles for your links. We want to change the color scheme a little bit, and we also give CSS customization, which isn't going to mean anything to your average user, but if you're a web designer or agency and you want to customize a little further, you want to put rounded corners on each entry or something like that. This is the CSS area where a developer programmer could edit those items. We do have multiple language capabilities here. So the first option we give you is just the buttons for the social sharing. Okay, so Twitter, for instance, gives us these language options that you're seeing here, so that they will translate the tweet button into those languages. Facebook has a lot more options for their Facebook like button, and for our share button. What do you want that to say? So you can change that to Spanish. Following that, though, we give you the ability to customize all the contest language lingo. So if you're doing it in Spanish, you can come in and change all the language from what we have in English, submit a comment to what that is going to be in Spanish. As well, we give you the ability to, not necessarily even for language, you can just customize this because you want to say it differently than what we do. All right, so for an entry pop-up, your entry successful. Maybe you want to say entry was successful in this area. Well, we give the opportunity to do that. Not a problem. Give you the ability to customize on the entry form. So, for instance, when somebody enters, maybe the text, you don't want it to be orange in color, or where it says drag your image here or click to browse, and you want it to be white. So we can use the color wheel and get that, very. I can also enter this manually if I want to. So I can put in a color code. That gives me the options there. Live contest, I can tweak all those. So on my tab and the post contest, what language I want. So we're giving you access there. And let me just show you one example. Let's see, a live contest, header links. Okay, it says vote. Let's change that to see entries. Oops, spelled that wrong. All right. So then, if I click on the view, and I go to the live contest, see entries. Okay, that's where I just changed that. And here's where you enter the contest. And I had changed that orange text to white text. Drag image here, click to browse. So this is where it's displaying. So this is my photo contest. And remember, I had changed my form fields to email and name. I have left on the add image title to display, and I can agree to the terms, that type of thing. So this is the contest preview, and this is see entries is what I modified there. So I can take a look at my contest and go through each scenario, what it's going to look like in the pre-contest, which we had set the countdown timer, the post-contest, what's going to appear afterwards. Contest is now over. And remember, I toggled on the view all submitted entries link, so this is where the entries would be. I can view my thank you screen, and I selected that extra thank you for entering. Here's where I would have said, to be alerted to future contests, submit this form, and once they submit that, here's my opt-in form response. So we're just giving you ability to view all the basics that you need there. Going on to the mobile then, this is the key version because you had that image that's optimized for Facebook and the web, but for mobile users, you want to give them a better viewing experience. So we tell you about that here, and we tell you what size to upload your instructional image and then your vote image, so that it's a great view for people on a mobile device. We also do that for the pre and the post contest, so giving you the ability to have a really good, clear, because sometimes what happens is people put an image in that's great for desktop users on Facebook or the web, with a lot of text on it, with the instructions in the image. This is what you can win, this is how you're going to win, this is the contest dates, and it's a lot of text. So when you shrink that down to a mobile device, it's just unruly to look at. So we give you the ability now to streamline that for the mobile user experience. Then for the app, we give you, this is the same as the analytics in the analytics tab that was up there in the manager. We just give you access to it here because you want quick access to delete images, to export images to zip, all those types of things. You can then preview. If you would have set a mobile image in here, you can take a look at what the mobile view would have looked like here. All right, and so that would be available to you, and so you can kind of test out ahead of time what it's going to take and look like, web and Facebook. All right, those are the details. So when I save it, okay, it's going to give me a timestamp. You last saved this at this point in time. I'm also alerted this app has not been published. To publish, select the publish option from the My Apps tab. Okay, so I hit OK. It's blinking here, so I know this is the one. I see it's unpublished, so I can select that, and I'm back to this screen that we went through earlier on where to do that. All right, so that is the overview. The contest has a lot of features, but a lot of those features apply across the board, to different apps. So a lot of the things that we went through, you're going to see in every app, such as Facebook settings, promotion tools, the gates. All of that is uniform across all the apps. So if there's any questions, please be posting them out to me now, and I'd be glad to answer those and see what we can do to help you out. All right, I had a question about the Analytics tab. So the Analytics tab is here, and again, the top level view is on a per plan basis. So let's say I'm looking at Mike Gingrich now. Let's say that I wanted to go into a different plan and see the analytics for Digital Hill. I can do that, and this is all the apps that the Digital Hill plan has within it, and that was the same in the manager under My Apps. So again, now I'm under Digital Hill. If I want to switch back to Mike Gingrich, I can do that. Go into the app, see Analytics, and I can view them here. This is the same area as this area here. All right, I had another question about showing something on a web embed. Yes, I'm ready for that. Okay, so let's see. This Instagram app I created earlier today, and it is published. So let's go take a look at that on the public side. All right, so this is my blog, and I give you some information about embedding it. And here is my Instagram account with the photos that I have published. So I'm bringing my Instagram account right here onto my blog. I'm bringing in just all my photos. I could specify and say I just want this hashtag to appear. All right. So and then each of these has a viewing experience. So I can click on the thumbnail, and this is the large view of that. So this was a podcast interview I did with Martin Shervington, and so that's the image for that. So I can click out of that, and I was just in British Columbia speaking at a social media conference, largest one in Canada, social media camp, and these were some of the speakers. We all had hashtags. We were together there. That's just a fun picture. So that's a great way to bring in anything that you have from the apps that you've created to your website. And I believe I have another contest one here I can show you too. All right. Okay, so this is Red Heart Yarn. I believe they're in the UK, and they were using a drag and build tab. They have it on Facebook, and this is their website, so they also have it on Facebook. So this is a contest, 2 grand prize winners. Enter to win below, and this is where people can enter. They've opted to have the enter form be default, and then we can go to the vote, and we'll be able to see their people that have entered. All right, so this is what a contest looks like on the website. It's showing by votes. We can change the sort order there by most votes. See who's got the most votes in this. And Me and My Baby Loves Red Heart Yarns has the most votes. We can view the large view of that one. And here's the social sharing options. So per entry, so people can like this entry, they can tweet this entry, they can +1 or pin this entry, they can share that entry with friends, or they can click here to copy the URL for this entry. That's a great way to share it with your friends and family so that they can come back and vote for you. And again, we're doing this all on a website. Spectacular. So that's a good view there. So that was a question. Do you work with any services that help newbies get up to speed on TabSite contests? We do a couple things in that regard. Number one, we have a lot of content on our TabSite blog about how to run a contest. And then number two, we do have do-it-for-you services. So TabSite is owned by Digital Hill Multimedia, digitalhill.com, and Digital Hill offers that services so that it's a do-it-for-you service. So that's a piece that can be done for you. And, we continue to try to develop training videos, those types of things. But those are the two basic ways. It's either through the blog and through the help area. Oh, I didn't show you that. So let me go back to the manager. Let's go into the photo contest app. All right, I didn't pull up the help area, so I'll show you this. All right, so I'm in the photo contest app, and if I click on help desk right here, it knows you're on the photo contest app, and so it brings up the photo contest instructions, and you can size that according to your monitor screen. Okay, so I'm just dragging this down, and this is the exact page that is on the help desk area on the public side, tabsite.com/help. And so you can just go through the instructions. So this is kind of a step-by-step of the different pieces that I went through for you. So that's right there for you. All right, just trying to scan through, see if there's any other questions. If this was a helpful time, I'd appreciate if you'd go over to our Facebook page at facebook.com/TabSite and let us know. Just comment on my, hey, the webinar is coming post there, and tell me what you thought of it. That'd be helpful. We're excited about the possibilities with the new version of TabSite. Going back to my Instagram one, lots of opportunities here, because if you're trying to build your Instagram audience and people aren't necessarily aware of you, a great thing to do is embed it on your website, so that if your website's getting traffic to it, you can showcase that and build your followers on Instagram. So we give you the follow button right there, and you can do that again with all kinds of things. Embed your Pinterest. You can embed a photo contest. A simple form for lead capture or promotion. All those types of things, all there available to you. So I think I'm just over an hour, so I want to wind down here and make sure that I respect your time. So thanks for being with me today. This is Mike Gingrich. If I didn't answer any questions, feel free to post those on our Facebook page as well. I'll watch there, facebook.com/TabSite. Thanks.